All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration.
Hello, hello, my friends.
Good evening.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Doing great.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I had a crazy week at work, but it's part what we're going to talk about. So, welcome to 3 Cocktails In with 3 friends who have addicting conversations. We've been there, we've done that, and we still want more. Hoping you do too. Yes.
Always.
Yes. So, I'm going to show you the first of the season, the happiest hour. I have made a cocktail.
Cute.
I've got my Palma, my Citron Grey Goose, limoncello, and a little grapefruit cooler. I'm feeling very summery.
It's very pretty.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does make a pretty cocktail.
Yes, it does. Stacey, I need you to tell us what you're drinking and why. Because she started to tell me, and I said, whoa, save it for the show. Yeah. This is a good one.
Not very exciting. In my blue glass, can't even see it. But I'm drinking Bailey's on the Rocks tonight, which you already know I like. I've had it on other shows. But I picked it tonight because there was like this much left in the bottle. And I was telling Amy, my challenge is going to be to clean out my refrigerator of all the bottles with a little bit of alcohol in the bottom. So before I go buy something new.
What you actually said to me was, I'm going to drink my way through my refrigerator. That was the phrase you used.
And I counted and I have 15 bottles. 15 bottles of stuff with a little bit of stuff in the bottom. So before I buy any new, well, I'm not going to do it just... Kitty, your face. I'm not going to do it this week.
I know. I'm
all summer, maybe.
I'm trying to think of what are all of these bottles?
Well, different flavors of vodka. I don't know.
You got your rum chata in there?
Yes, there's a new rum chata that we bought. Pineapple rum chata. We got that a couple months ago. Kahlua, which that's not very good alone, so I'll have to figure out something for that. What else? Palma, just kinky pink. There's just a ton of stuff in there. Okay. Rum, I'm sure, and I'm sure there's tequila. I don't know. Who knows?
You guys, this is the kind of spring cleaning I can get behind.
Spring cleaning.
I'm quite impressed, I have to say.
Yeah, right? I know. Yeah. So that's my goal. We'll see.
That's a good goal.
Makes me sound like I'm going to have a party all summer, but we'll see.
Yeah.
There you go. So, Kitty, the last time we talked, you had just finished up one gala, and now you just did another one. Tell us, how was this one? We want the deets.
The one we had last night was for the Children's Cancer Research Fund, and it was at Quincy Hall. Which is the second year that they've had it there. I particularly love that venue. Lots of money raised last night to end childhood cancer. So it was beautiful. Our team did a great job. We have a really great relationship with the client. They're just delightful to work with. So it was fun. I didn't win the pink tickets.
Shoot.
I know.
What didn't you win? I'm sorry.
Pink. 4 tickets to the pink concert.
I'm sure you would have taken us too.
Yeah.
If you would won.
Yeah. It's 4 tickets.
Oh, bummer.
So,
oh well.
She could have had another raffle for her friends, which 4 are gonna, want to go.
Right?
Which 3?
Yeah.
2. I'm betting Bill might want to go to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. Talk to me about some fashions that were there.
Yes. Okay, so the ambassadors, I'm drawing a blank now on what the name, there's always a there's always a headline. I am drawing a blank on what the word is. It's always a couple, and they're a major donor of the organization, and then they're, well, I guess I'm gonna use the word ambassador for the evening. So that was Cole DeVries and his wife. And his wife is just wrapping up Mrs. Minnesota, her reign as Mrs. Minnesota. So she got to wear a t-shirt all night. Yes.
Can I ask a question? Who is Cole DeVries? Because maybe not everyone knows who that is.
Well, I'm finding that even a lot of Minnesotans and even Twins fans don't know who he is, but he played very briefly for the Twins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that right, Amy?
He's kind of a big deal in Minneapolis sports area.
Yep.
We love our athletes that stay.
Yeah. Yep. Although I don't really even know what he's doing now, but anyway, he was helping raise money last night, so it was good. It was very good. So at this one in particular, everybody gets really dressed up. I would say more so than the one last weekend, the Home for Life, the Animal Sanctuary. There were some people in gowns last week, but last night everybody was very decked out. So it was very good people watching.
Fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And then we've got one more next weekend.
I don't know how I can do it. Oh, what's next weekend?
Next weekend is VocalEssence.
Oh, that'll be fabulous.
Yeah. Yep. So it's gala season.
Very cool.
Evidently.
I'd say like prom for adults.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Am I way off? Are we having serious glitches here with our
recording?
I
think we've got a delay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep going.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
We'll just
all right.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know if I can do a good segue into what I want to talk about, but I witnessed two different things this week that made me really think about friendship, goals, unique circumstances, and I'm gonna tell you the first. I'm gonna tell them to you, and then we're gonna go from there. So I happened to be scrolling through reels or whatever, as one does, instead of doing something productive, and I came across two podcast hosts who were in a real life fight, not talking to each other. Something had happened. Neither one were willing to speak to each other. And it's the start of their podcast where the one says, well, Libs didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I'm going to bring it up. And she goes into what the story is. And I think they've been friends for a while. They live two very different lifestyles. It sounds like one is living the college dream, she's older, mid-30s. And the other one has decided to opt for her health and doesn't drink very much and goes to bed early. And they proposed to do a 24-hour swap of lifestyle. So the one that goes to bed early was going to stay out. The one that stays out all night was not going to drink. Evidently, it went horribly, horribly wrong. Both of them bailed, and they had not talked since then.
Oh.
Yes. And so the one brought it up on their episode, and they they didn't fight, but they were both sharing their sides of the story. And that was very interesting. The whole idea of, we've talked about how do you handle conflict at work? We've talked about that. Yeah. But how do you handle conflict with friends?
Mm-hmm.
What's your method? Okay. So that's one part of this. And then yesterday, I had a realtor at work bring in 3 relatives and 1 friend. Sister, sister, cousin, friend. Sister, sister, cousin want to live in the same neighborhood. Sister, sister want to live right next door to each other. They're ready to buy houses this week. These are women of our age, or a couple of them are our age, a couple that are a little bit younger. Maybe they were daughter, at one point or whatever. And it got me thinking, could I live next to my sister? How long would that last? Talk about having to deal with conflict. I know I couldn't live with my sister. I got to thinking about Golden Girls who, lived together in that movie. I got to thinking about, I've sold a number of homes in this community to women of a certain age. And I've joked, oh, I could build my own utopian community here with just single women or whatever. And it just poses so many interesting things to think about. How do you handle, would you ever want to live that close to a friend? For real, not pretend, not a fictional world. These women are doing it.
Yeah. That's interesting. I feel like you're probably right. Living together might be too close. But I think it's possible. I think it'd be fun to live very near, close friends. I think that'd be fun, especially as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think living close would be, and even next door, I think that's very doable because you still have your own space.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to do everything together.
Yeah.
But
these guys might.
well, there are some people who, they just have a different kind of relationship. So and you could probably pick up on that vibe if it was going to work or if it was not going to work. Right.
Yes, it was interesting. They were like, the 2 of us want to be right next door. And they were asking about some different homes. And one I wanted to show them was 2 doors down, and because she wanted X and the other one wanted Y. They were literally 25 steps from each other, front door to front door. And they're like, no. We want to be right next door to each other. I'm like, okay, then we need to look at these 2. And they're like, no, we just want to be able to walk out and get a cup of sugar and walk back. I'm like, all right. I should have asked if they were going to ask somebody to put an adjoining door cut between the 2, because it's not just one wall they'd have to go through. But anyway, there was definitely a ringleader that was kind of directing traffic, not telling anybody where to live, but like saying, well, she wants this one. She wants something like that, going on. And I thought, you guys have got to have been friends. You must have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Where everybody's down with this.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always joked, oh, when we get to be old and in the nursing home. Well, I think the goal is to not end up in the nursing home.
Yes.
And also not a single one of these women mentioned a man.
Mm.
So I don't know if they're married, if they have a significant other. I don't know. But if it is, it's truly a happy wife, happy life sort of deal, because their names aren't going to be on title. They're not.
They must not be married.
You're just thinking that.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if there was no mention at all of a significant other, like, oh yeah, hey, Fred should come and look at it before we make a decision. Then there was no mention made, then I'm guessing there's not.
Yeah. But I'm sure you guys know, people that are very close to their family, and I swear they only do stuff with their families, as opposed to having a large group of friends. So that's probably similar to them, and they're just going to do everything together anyway. So
yeah, that's probably true. That's not that's not how my family works.
No.
And so it seems very foreign. I do think about, for some reason it hits with like farm families where, you know, mom and dad might have the large farm, and then as the kids get married, they give them part of the farm and they build their house over there, or, you know, so that wasn't my, you know, it didn't dawn on me, but that was the first time I thought of that. And it was just so in complete contrast to these two friends that were not speaking. And so I got to thinking, well, what do you do? I mean, we can talk about us a little bit. We've had differences of opinions. Kitty, you and I, for the most part, we're really good. I mean, I think we're all really good. But we don't like to hit things on the head. We don't like to have that face to face.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes poor Stacey gets to be in the middle of it.
In the middle, hear it from this side, hear from this side.
When really,
what are we at odds about?
well, we're not now, but I mean, there's just been little things, just little situational things over the years. I'm not saying anything now.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody today, and they were talking about their goal for a future relationship was to be able to have a person who's got your back. And I know that we have that. But to have a person say, I've got your back. We might not agree on this right now. We're going to talk it out. But in the end, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. But we got to kind of get through this. But I'm just such an avoider.
I think there are so many fundamental differences between men and women. And one of the things that I've noticed with guys is that they tend, if there's some sort of, like if somebody does something and, you know, if a guy does something and the guy friend is like, what the hell? You know, it's just like, what the hell? And they move on.
Yeah.
Guys don't, it doesn't seem like they harbor things. And it just goes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree. I feel like I'm an avoider as well. Because, well, probably for a lot of reasons, but I think I sometimes feel like it's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
No. Avoid the conflict because you don't
Because
know.
the conflict might be worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to go watch that episode.
I know. It's not very long. It's just really interesting. And I mean, there's clearly some issues at hand with their dynamic. I feel like their friendship, they should have been having these conversations a long time ago. And maybe they had, you know, I don't really know, but it was, talk about a great teaser to get people to listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. And I've never
listened. Yeah, I listened to it. It was good. You know, they makes me feel better about ours sometimes because we weren't, you know, they were just back and forth and talking over each other some to start with. And, you know, I'm not sure they came to a resolution at the end. I mean,
yeah, I don't know that they did either.
You know,
what was the name of the podcast?
Oh,
Things to Try Before You Die. Is that what it was?
Do
Or
Before You Die.
Yeah,
like that.
Can you pull it up on your? Here, I got it. My phone.
Yeah, I might be able to.
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting. They're British, I believe, aren't they? So some of it was a little hard to.
I didn't think they were British.
Oh, there was something.
Oh, there's something.
Yeah. Oh, I think British. You didn't think so?
No, I didn't think so. I thought they just had that weird affectation when they speak of the younger generation.
Try Before You Die. Try Before You Die.
Try Before You Die.
Yeah. So I just had time to listen to that one. Episode 8.
Episode 8.
So I just had time to listen to that one, but I'm going to go back and listen to some of their others and understand their dynamic, see what they're trying. Yeah, the one I think she said she was 37. I didn't catch what the other one, how old the other one was.
And
which was interesting because of I'm not going to give it away, but the topic was interesting. I would have never guessed she was 37. You know what I mean?
That was my exact same take on that.
Never guessed that. I figured
like, well, no wonder your friend's pissed at you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I assumed they were low 20s, maybe,
Yeah, mid-20s, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting.
So what do you do when you're in a fight with a sister or a brother? How do you handle sibling conflict?
Yeah. Avoid it.
It's a hard. I was going to say for me. It depends on which one it is. One, yeah, whatever, and the other one, we just give each other so much crap that it's a chuckle after a while. There's not ever much conflict, honestly.
I've had some with my sister. She and I would both fully admit we did not get along growing up. There was just this gap in age. And she has often said, well, I liked you. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, thanks.
Oops.
So, and I have told my mom, I blamed a lot of it on mom. She made me take Anne with me everywhere. And that, that's not fair. It's not fair when you're 4 years apart and, to be the built-in babysitter. But once we had kids, we found mutual ground because kids are the most humbling thing in the world. They'll knock you right down. They don't care if you're the oldest, the youngest, the 17th, the only, you have common ground. But we've had some issues over the years, and it's kind of been like right around very emotional times, like when mom and dad died, when dad died, how we wanted to handle things, how we processed it, were very different. And I remember trying to talk about things, trying to basically sell my side, try and get my point across. And she just was not having it. She was just like, I don't care. That's not how I see it. That's not how it is. And you're just going to have to deal. And I found that to be probably, I think if we had a disagreement now with a little bit more maturity on my side, I think hoping to try and learn how to articulate feelings and, when this happens, I feel, those things.
Yeah.
But and then you just have to kind of have to go. Like, I've said my piece, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, siblings are always going to be your siblings. You don't really have to. I guess I can't imagine anything so horrible with my sibling that I wouldn't want her as my sister or my brother as my brother. And by the way, my brother is just the jokester of the family and never really gets involved. And he's like, okay, whatever. He's got no, what do they call it? Dog in the race, horse in the race. What's
skin
the phrase?
In the game?
Yeah. He's got no skin in the game. None. But man, that conflict in the closeness of those people who know you the best.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We had one. Can I describe a situation we had with my other girlfriends? I talked about it at the end of last time. There's 6 of us. There used to be 7, and at one time there was 8. But there's only 6 now, which is kind of strange. I'll tell you, I won't go into detail on what actually happened, but I will tell you, at one point, just one day out of the blue, the number 7, sent a message to all of us in our group message saying, she was taking herself out of the group for reasons she couldn't discuss, and then took herself out of the group. You know what I mean? Which was a surprise to several of us. not necessarily a surprise to a couple of them. I was one that was totally shocked. In fact, behind the scenes, I tried to reach out and say, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? What can I do? What's happened? Whatever." And she wouldn't say. It just said, I can't say, but I'm fine, but I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
So she was just literally out, which was interesting.
Yeah.
That's like an amputation.
Yeah.
That's
It was interesting. And like I've described my friends group, this is, these are people that, I grew up with, went to high school together, So, I mean, for me, it was like that. My friend disappeared, literally, for, after that.
Your group is in some ways a little bit, well, maybe not. Our group, our broad squad, we've got 3 of us that went to high school together.
Mhm.
Draw the Venn diagram. Three of us went to college together. Stacey didn't go to high school or college with it. Stacey and I went to elementary.
Mhm.
Trisha is somebody that we met when we were having kids. So we have, we don't have a few of us have very long standing friendships.
Sure.
But with each other, you've developed your own friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Your high school group, you weren't all in the same grade.
No, but we all, through how, we're all close enough to 1 or 2 or 3,
Yes.
Of the others, very close, that's kind of how the group started. Yeah. So
Yes.
that was interesting, how she was out.
And have you heard from her ever in anything since? Has there been any sort of...
Well, when we found out why it was, so like it went for a month until we got together again with the rest of them as 2. I had no idea why it happened. So now when I found out why, it kind of made sense. Maybe I'm 50-50 on whether it was the right thing to do. I didn't agree that, I was almost kind of hurt that she wouldn't just tell me behind the scenes, here's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we sure, she doesn't be part of this group, but maybe we could still be friends. But that didn't happen. So, yeah, I've, texted with her a couple times, but that'd be it. Yeah. So.
Okay, so what happened with number 6?
Oh, 7? Number 7.
Oh, okay,
or no,
whatever.
Number 8.
Number 8.
She was
Okay.
out early on. She came to our, group outings, our whatever dinners and whatever for a while, and then just kind of lost interest and moved on with her own, a different group of friends, we'll say. Kind of invited herself in and then decided, nah, I'm just gonna, go do something else. So yeah, it was interesting.
So if you want somebody to be more engaged in your group because you miss them,
sure.
And you've tried having conversations individually, what do you do? Any ideas?
I think you have to respect someone's...
Yeah.
They're making the choice.
Yeah.
And I think you have to just let that, if you have in fact tried, and expressed interest and tried to be welcoming, I think if they're not engaging, you just have to let it go.
Yeah.
You have to let them.
Yep.
Mm.
And it is sad,
especially
when it's a long-term. It's a friendship.
Yeah.
Goes years.
Yeah. Okay, so what about inviting new friends into the group?
Yeah, that's hard.
That's very hard. Especially,
We've tried it. We've tried over the years to bring various people in, and maybe we're short on grace.
Maybe.
But here's the thing: we've never invited somebody in and then said, "Oh, you know what? This isn't working, so you're not invited anymore." That right?
Correct.
That has never happened. So it has always been that person. They might not jive with us. They didn't jive with us, so they just end up kind of stepping away.
Yeah.
We're not for everyone.
No, we're not.
Probably not at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah. So I'm trying to plan in my neighborhood. I've had since I started in September, I've sold 22 houses now. That's 22 new people who have moved into a neighborhood that is now only at like 75. So that's like a third. Maybe my math's not great. That's a third of the neighborhood has moved in.
Yeah, all brand new.
All brand new.
Yeah.
And there are definitely some groups of ages and people and places in life that I really want them, in my own little world. I want them all to be friends, sort of thing. But also I can see that they probably have a lot in common. And many of them have dogs. We have a fenced in dog park in the neighborhood. And the beautiful thing about the dog park, even if you don't have dogs, dog owners walk their dogs every day, multiple times a day. So if you want to know your neighbors and you want to meet people, you just have to be outside. Go to the dog park. But the other thing is you start to know the dogs really well and you end up talking to somebody about your dogs and you've been talking to them and you've never caught their name. So you only know them as, the dogs, Ike's mom and dad. Have no idea what the parents are. So I'm thinking of trying to do something with you've met the dogs, now meet the owners sort of event that might be kind of fun to have in the neighborhood. Because in my world, I want everybody to get along.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be fun. I feel like every time we've moved, it's hard to get yourself into the neighborhood because they already know each other. They already have their groups, so
yes,
it's hard to find your people. But all those, that situation, everybody's,
new.
Everybody's new.
Everybody's new. And there are some really, really wonderful people that are out on their decks. And, I walk around showing people homes and people from all different walks of life, all different nationalities. And these people on their decks are like, hey, how's it going? How are you guys doing today? Did you like that house? They're just very friendly. And these people are looking at me like, this is kind of a cool place to be. I'm like, I told you, it's great people, sort of deal. So that's kind of fun too. But it's really interesting when you think about how do we handle friendships right now? The good, the bad, the making new friends. Do I want to live by my friends?
Yeah.
Would I, I think that there's something about the autonomy of your own home next to someone.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
The local Star Tribune just did an article. I didn't get to read the article because I'm too cheap to buy the subscription, but I read the, 3 paragraphs that I can read online. And it talked about this 2 women who bought a home together pre-COVID because they could not afford homes on their own. They had boyfriends. So they were able to put their money together and buy this very big house. Well, now each couple has 2 kids and they have continued to live together. But now they've accumulated enough money for a decent down payment that they are selling the home and moving to their own. And that kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I could. Sometimes it's hard enough to live with your spouse and your own kids. Can you imagine?
Somebody else's? Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you mentioned nursing home. Yes, we don't want to go to a nursing home, but there is that jump to retirement home where everybody has either their own condo-like place or apartment or, a lot of apartments in
like senior living.
Senior
55
living,
plus community.
which I think we could do. We could do that because we'd still all have our own place, but it's,
yeah,
that's doable.
Yeah. The place that Bill's mom and dad moved into when they when they knew that they were making their last move, they wanted to be close to one of the kids, so they moved to Denver, and they lived in a huge senior living complex, and it was nice. It was like they were living in a resort. Had multiple restaurants, workout facility, bank, doctor, shuttles, and Bill and I looked at that and we're like, dang,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Have you seen those people who are suggesting that that's what people should do with malls that are dying out?
Oh, yeah.
Turn them into, a 55 plus or an old, Gen X community, I think is really how it was positioned. That you could have the, all those different things right there, and people could walk. I don't know. So very interesting. That's kind of, I just thought that was really quite a few days that I had this week where I kept thinking, could I do that? How do I do that? Would I want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole conflict with friends, that's a hard one. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Like Kitty said, you don't want to make it worse.
Right.
But is stewing on it really better?
I think I think that as we've matured, I think a lot of times we will ask ourselves the question, is it even, just let it go. Is this even anything, right? Is this even anything to get riled up about? I mean, I know I don't take things as personally as I used to, just generally, like at work, here at home, just in general. And I do at times say, dang, Kitty, you let that go. Good job. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's got to be something pretty darn big for it to be, okay, we need to sit down and talk about this.
Yeah. I'd love to hear other people's stories. I'm fascinated by, I've handled things the same way for a long time. Our friend group has been the same friend group for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think work conflict is totally different. I do think family conflict is different. The friend conflict is, do you let the friendship go? Do you just move on? I'd love to hear other people's stories, other people's takes on this.
Yes.
I mean, I think if the question is, are you going to let the friendship go? It's got to be something pretty freaking big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need to hit on my husband or something. And, right? I mean, anything else is like, okay. I'm just going to assume that, maybe we were just having a bad day.
Oh, well, at least now we know where the line is with Kitty.
Right. We do.
Awesome. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for letting me share the goofiness that my job sometimes presents.
Yeah, love it.
I know.
Love the goofiness.
So if you're a single woman of an older age and would like to join in a neighborhood with other single women of a certain age, I know where you can be. These women are fun. They're nice. So
yeah, you're gonna have to keep us updated on
that one. Yeah. If they really all do end up buying all in the same spot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully this week I could have a really big week this week.
That could be if all three of them. Is the cousin
I've already
sold?
I've sold two home. I sold one house already. I sold it May 29th. I'm selling another one tomorrow.
No, April 29th.
No, I sold one May 1st. I'm selling another one tomorrow.
Okay, so
I'm
you
off
got
to
two
a
for May.
good month.
There you go.
2 for May already. I could have
Awesome.
more this week.
Good.
Cool. Good.
Get it done.
Help pay for my vacations.
Yep.
Right.
With my friends, where I'm going to have a separate room.
Yes.
Keep those friendships, fresh, right?
We'll go at the end of the day after walking 52 miles, which is probably what we'll do. We'll slam the hotel door shut. Say,
Yeah,
sleep,
right.
get up and do it again. It'll be fine.
Yeah, for as much as I'm intending to eat there of the
I know.
breads and the wines,
Pasta
I'm going
and
to
wine,
need to walk 52 miles.
Yes, at least.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, ladies.
All right. We'll see you next
Until
week.
next time, friends.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past 10. Turning up the crowd when I hit 'em.